Hello everybody, welcome to another tutorial, actually my first tutorial of how to make a quick Afro pop, Afro R&B type instrumental on GarageBand iOS. Okay, so before anything else, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and let's just dive straight into it. The first thing as highlighted on this video is the drum loop, which I downloaded ages ago from Splice. Never did anything with it, but I decided to just go with this one as a first source of inspiration. Sometimes I get rid of them, but sometimes I keep them. Just in this case, I'll keep it. But before that, actually, I just want to play the beat a little bit, just like a small glimpse of it, and make sure you guys have a listening about it. Listen to the beat. So that's kind of like the intro, and there's the pre-chorus section, which is, I think, sorry guys, it's quite an old beat for me, so I think this is the pre-chorus section over here. There's a slight change to the beat, I think. You can see there's a slight difference in this pattern to this pattern. It's something I tend to do quite often in my beats, not all the time, but quite often. And then you have the chorus over somewhere, yeah, over here. Sorry, on GarageBand it doesn't allow you to give names to the section, so it's a bit hard to find where I am, but it's fine, it's all right. And I'm gonna play the chorus now. Okay, that's basically it. Everything is just copy and paste, repeated, and some few tweaks here and there. But hey, at the end of time, you have to make your own creation. Anyway, just go back to it. As I mentioned before, the first thing that actually inspired me to make this beat was this drum loop. So let's just go straight into it. There it is. Very simple, a 90 BPM drum loop. I think I downloaded it from Splice. If you guys want a tutorial how to import stuff from Splice into your iPad, just hit me up in the comment section and I'll see if I can make a tutorial. I think there's another video online, but hey, an extra one does not harm anyone. Anyway, after I got the drum loop I wanted, the second thing, obviously I matched the BPM by going into this little wheel here and making sure it's 90 BPM, and afterwards just choose the key you want. In this case I chose a C major because I wanted something quite I would say uplifting, but not too sad, because the minor chords are kind of the sad ones, and try to follow some key as a help, something to help you as I'm making the song along. In this case, I didn't use any type of keyboard or anything like that. I just did everything with touchscreen. But if you have an external keyboard, you can just, vibe to that and take it from there. After I got the drum loop sorted, I started, playing around with some notes and trying different instruments. And the second instrument I kind of like played around with was this. It's like a synth, was it? It's like I call it Alan Walker because I learned how to make interesting changes by watching a tutorial on how to make an Alan Walker type beat. But that's that story for another time. I'm just gonna play this around. So that's basically it. Just copy this kind of setting. You can tweak it the way you want, but this is what I already had set before, and I was pretty happy with it. Then after that, kind of like to give it a bit more oomph as I went to the verse one and so on, I kind of like made the same note, but kind of like slight variant to it, very ever so slight. Nothing really major. It's the same notes. The main thing is actually just changing the volume. With regards to the extra setting, the only thing I added to this one, to the number one, sorry if I haven't changed the name, is just kind of like I put a difference in echo. I think in this one there's a bit less echo, and in the one on top there's a bit more echo. And I think that's about it in regards to difference. And I pound it to the left, while the other one I pound it to the right, just to give it a bit more depth. But again, you're not forced to do that. Okay. What else did I do? Let me just get rid of all this stuff. Afterwards, I played some basic chords on the guitar plug-in or whatever it is called, and just have a listen. That's it. Nothing more than that. Very simple chords for the guitar, and just kind of like it kind of like all came together at that point. Afterwards, I worked on the some extra guitar to give it a bit more oomph as the other one was playing. That's it. Nothing really special. Again, I felt that the song needed a bit more guitar, and I just carried on making more notes for the guitar. So and that's it for the guitar section in that point. And as I told you guys before, I like to change the pattern a little bit, ever so slightly, when it goes to the pre-chorus or even chorus, depending how I feel. In this case, I decided to go with changing the pattern from the verse to the pre-chorus. It's nothing too major, kind of like repeated chord, just to add a little bit more oomph. And that's it, really. Nothing special. On top of that, because this is a pre-chorus, I added even more guitars. I'm actually realizing that there's a lot of guitar in this bit. Hey, you can never really go wrong. It's such a beautiful instrument. So I think the next guitar I added was this. So the main thing is to make some melodies that go with the main chords that you started with. If you're starting with the guitar, obviously this will be your main chord. This will be your main chord. But if you're starting with synth, like I did, this were my main chord, and I kind of like just work with it. In regards to making the chords, let's go back to this. In regards to making the chords, the easiest way I make chords after selecting the key signature I want, I always start with this. Just mess around with it a little bit, and get what you want to create. After you finish your chord and you have that going on, if you don't know your settings that you like, if you're struggling to find the key to make decent melody, what I normally do, I go to the scale. You kind of like, because it's a C major, you can use any scale you want, but I like to keep things simple, so I use a major scale. And most of the times, the notes that you can use here are generally, you know, laid out in this. Very unlikely to sound bad, and you know, you just use your, you know, your knowledge and your understanding of music, or just the way it sound. And what else did I do from there on? I think I added obviously the kicks and the drums. So we mentioned before, I already had this loop going on. Then I said, oh, I didn't like the snares and kick I was working on. So I kind of like went through the Apple loops. I can't remember which snare I used, but if you go to instruments and I think percussions, and just go through them and look something that fits in well. What I did, I listened to the one I wanted. If there's a section I wanted particularly, I would just take it, transpose it into this, like this, and it would just be there, and I can just chop it the way I want, as much as I want, really. So let's say I want to take this section, for example, of this beat, for example. I would just split. Go, yeah. It's a bit annoying on GarageBand to split, and you know, but it's workable. And you know, once you've done it, you just delete what you wanted, and you can put it there. You know, that's what I really did. Nothing more complicated than that. Let's just get rid of this stuff. Sorry, it's a bit laggy, but when you've got like 32 different sections, it's a bit slower, but nothing too major, I would say. Okay, and that's about it for that. Okay, so I used this snare again. I can't remember which was it. I use this snare. Let's select all these ones away, so we just listen to the snare by itself. It's nothing major. It's just something ever so simple, and that's it. Then I added some more snares. Same pattern. Nothing really too difficult. This one is just like, by itself it sounds awful, but it kind of like works well together with the main beat. And just for transition effects, I think this is like a reverse. Oh yeah, sorry. This is a kick. I even wrote it. It's a kick. It's just a kick I took from one of the Apple loops, and I really liked it. It fitted for what I was thinking, and I just kept it, really. Nothing special. Very simple. Okay, and after that, what did I do? Sorry again, guys, it's so laggy. I got too many things running in it. And I use Isabella. She's like one of the main drummers, I think, automated drummers, if you would say. And I kept it very simple because I don't wanted it to overwhelm my song. So reduce the fills from whatever to this. Use just a tambourine, one, and simple, and that's it. Just let it listen. And I think I added some reverb to it. Oh no, I didn't even add any reverb. That's how simple I kept it. And that's that for the tambourine. Let's get rid of this. And this is just a sound from a pack I made. From a custom made drum kit that I created. Nothing special really. I just like I think it's this instrument here. So that's it really. Let's have a listen. It just went well with the beat. I liked it. Nothing more significant than that. And I'm not too sure what's this actually. Some other snares. Again, it's an Afrobeat. Just throw as many snares as you can think of. Obviously keeping this in the same pattern of the other one. Then after that, when I've got all this going on, I went to work on the intro, just added a bit more sauce to it, really. And I love putting keyboards in my songs, so I just went with this, really. Nothing special, just, yeah, nothing special. And I thought of adding a little slight difference just to introduce it to the song. It's not necessary to do that, but I felt I wanted to do that in this case. Okay, and that's it. So explore and do whatever you feel that you feel that you should do. And just like any Afrobeat, you need some shakers, some tambourine extra, and that's literally what I did here. Added some shakers, and this is a very easy shaker to find on the Apple Loop. If you go to Instrument shakers, and there's a bunch of them, and I think this is number 2 that I use. It goes with most things really, and it just times the tempo very well. You don't have to be mixing and match finding the tempo. It's also simple. Similarly, this is another shaker. I just decided to use 2 shakers. Why not? Have a listen. Oh, very exotic. I love it. And that's it for that. And some effects, like most songs, you want to use it for the intro and outro. So I use a riser again from the Apple Loop Store, Apple Loops, and let's just have a listen to that. Boom, nothing too difficult or special really. I like keeping things simple, and this is just a reverse crash. And that's it really. And I think I added some extra effect, an echo, a reverb, remove a little bit of the bass just to make it feel a bit more natural, because I was going for something natural, and that is what came up. Don't be afraid to mess around with it. It's your own beat, and do whatever you feel like doing. And that's it. And some extra effect afterwards. What was this? This is for the at the end of the song, is the bridge really. And I decided to add some extra effect, which is like a very slow white noise. Wow, that's beautiful. And I think that's it for that section. I hope I've covered everything. Again, for the bridge, I tend to keep it very similar to the intro, with or without some instrument. And I decided to use this instrument called Piper. I don't know how I spelled. Very, very, very interesting instrument. I just decided to, let's just go with it. And I'll just let you go and have a listening. I like to keep the notes of the melody quite spread out. First, because it makes it sound more peaceful, and it allows the singer or whatever person you want to sing on it to have space. One thing in music production is to have space for the performer to actually be able to sing, really, which is very important in my opinion. I don't know everything, but that's what I think. And there you go. And that's it really. And I think that is it for this song. Oh yeah, there's some few sections I added. I think there's like I'm not sure. I'm not too sure what is this. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it's like a section of a loop I took, and I probably just like the way that those percussions work together and how it flow with the beat. So it's very easy with GarageBand to mix and match whatever you want, and that's it. Once you've added, you've created a few sections, you've got a vibe going on for you, and don't be afraid to explore and make your own Afrobeat and or whatever type of song you want, and you take it from there. And that's it for this quick tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if I have more beats to work on and to produce and to introduce to you guys, I will produce it. And let's see what 2020 has to offer other than what is going on out there. See you guys next time.